people, welcome to Chantel's Foodventures, where we bring the adventure back into the kitchen. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications. On today's episode, we are making a quick and easy kale salad with seared salmon and a fat-free honey Dijon dressing. So let's get into it. To begin this recipe, we are going to start off with our kale. So I have on gloves for this part of the recipe so that we could really get in here and start massaging it. The reason why we massage our kale is just to give it a softer texture so it's more palatable while we're eating it. So I'm going to get a half a lemon and I'm going to just squeeze some of the juice over the kale leaves so that the acidity of the lemon juice can soften it up. So I typically put my hand underneath the lemon just to catch any seeds that might fall. So we're just going to do that. And let it sprinkle all over the kale. And then we're going to give it a little massage. So we just get our hands in there and start massaging. I love massaging my kale because I find kale in its most natural state could be very fibrous, a lot to chew. So just giving it a little bit of acidity actually helps break down some of that fibers. And some people also use olive oil to do this part, but because we're trying to have this meal as low fat as possible, we're just going to use some lemon juice and we're just going to keep on massaging until we start to see the texture change a little bit. So we're going to move this kale over to the side and let it do its thing. And we're going to bring over our salmon fillets. So these salmon fillets have already been washed. I used some water and some lemon juice to just give it a little clean. So we're going to put a little bit of olive oil on there, a nice drizzle, and then we're going to season our salmon fillets. So within the seasoning combination, I have salt, pepper, onion, garlic, smoked paprika, and a little bit of cumin. So we're going to sprinkle it all on there. And then we're just going to rub it in and make sure that we are getting all sides of the salmon. So for my salmon, I do have the skin on, but that's totally your choice whether or not you want the skin on for this recipe. So we're just going to rub it all in to make sure that all the seasoning is incorporated into our fillets. We're going to bring our seasoned salmon over to the stove where I have a pan that's been preheating on medium-high heat. And we're going to take our salmon and go skin side down onto the pan. So we're just going to press the salmon into the pan and we're just going to leave it there and let it sear for at least 3 to 4 minutes. The salmon has been skin side down for a few minutes now, so now I'm going to get my fish spatula and we're going to give it a nice flip so that the other side can also get a sear. Because the salmon is so thick, we are going to actually start searing it on all sides of it. So we're just going to get our spatula again and turn it over to its side. And typically I just hold it because it's just easier for me to do it this way. Just get some heat through to the center of the salmon. And then we're going to do the same to the other fillet and on the other sides of the whole salmon. I flipped my salmon front side up and used my thermometer to test the internal temperature of the salmon, and it came up to 145 degrees Fahrenheit. That means that it's fully cooked. So we're going to turn off the heat and transfer it to a clean plate. Our salmon fillets are now at rest and our kale leaves are still wilting, so now we are going to make our salad dressing. For this dressing, I am going to be using a small blender. You can use whatever size blender you have. And in there, we are going to be putting vegetable broth, Dijon mustard, some vinegar, salt and pepper, and some honey and some dill. And we're just going to mix it all up until we get a delicious dressing. The ingredients for our dressing is now all mixed up, and I would just like to point out, because this dressing is fat-free, it is a little bit more liquefied than a normal salad dressing. But if you do want to have it a thicker consistency, you can either A, use a little bit of olive oil, or B, use some white cannellini beans to give it that silky smooth texture. Time for the fun part of this recipe, which is plating. So we have our salad bowl right here. We're gonna take a few handfuls of our wilted kale, put it right in there. And then we're going to top our kale with some quartered cherry tomatoes, some chopped cucumbers, some shaved carrots, and then our beautiful salmon fillet. And here you have it, our kale salad with seared salmon and our fat-free honey Dijon dressing. What I love about this meal is that it's high in iron and fiber and also a good source of protein. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember, healthy does not mean boring. Cheers. See you next time.